Do you have a dirty little secret? Welcome to the club.
And you're all invited.
The first rule of the Dirty Little Secrets Club is tell everyone about the Dirty Little Secrets Club.
We're handing out memberships, free of charge.
Step up to the VIP line and let Dayna and Brimstone take you on a weekly ride of secrets and debauchery.
Now buckle up, Buttercup, because things are about to get heated on the Dirty Little Secrets Club.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Dirty Little Secrets Club. We're your hosts.
I am Dayna Pereira.
And this is Brimstone and Day. I'm going to tell you something right now. First of all, super freaking excited. I almost cussed. You know I'm allowed to here?
Yeah,
You know
I'm
allowed to here? But I stopped myself.
Have you been to this show before?
I know. So as of now, we've already gotten to hang out this past weekend because we pre-record. But as of recording, I'm psyched that we get to hang out this coming weekend. What do you call it? It's going to be so much fun. And I want to say, I don't know if you've noticed, but I have raised my camera here because the last few episodes.
You've been watching the video?
Yes. The last few episodes, I was getting really annoyed because I'm like, God damn it, I look uglier than I normally do. And what do you call it? It's because I'm having an issue with my studio computer. Not that there's an issue with any of the components, but we did an upgrade in the Grindhouse studio. And what happened is everything that made it so that I can use the studio computer to do my show with you is all discombobulated. So until Alex can get in here and fix that, and spend the time.
God damn it, Alex.
So I'm like using my laptop setup with my Bayer Dynamic, my Fox mic, which I love for touring, but I don't necessarily love.
But you needed to raise that camera a little bit. You needed a 12-year-old girl to come in and show you that you need to have the angle right. You got to be up here. You can't be down here.
I don't need the 12-year-old girl. I'm a 49-year-old man, and I know my angles, but I didn't realize it while I'm sitting and doing the thing. So now I raised it up so I can look hopefully a little bit better.
You're very svelte right now. You look very good.
Thanks. Not so good. I had a double Big Mac yesterday. Was not my best day. Yeah.
Listen, you know how I make myself feel better about having Big Macs? Because I fucking love a Big Mac.
Oh, they're so good.
I love a Big Mac.
No free ads, McDonald's. You should pay us.
I eat the Big Mac without the bread. Like, I stack all of the burgers and all of the sauce and everything, and I just eat just like that.
That's what I do. Or I have been doing, like, in recent times. But you can't not eat the middle bun because the middle bun's got all the sauce on it.
I scrape it. I take the middle bun and I scrape all the good stuff off onto the meat patties. And I mean, I realize that I'm not doing a whole lot of good with the way that I'm eating these, but it does make me feel a little better. So
yeah. Well, I
get to have a Big Mac.
There was this bodybuilder, huge name bodybuilder. I'm just not, it doesn't matter who it is, but we used to work out with each other at Gold's Gym years ago, and it would be crazy because two things always weirded me out with him. Okay, but made a tremendous amount of sense. One is he would always do high reps, really low weight. So he'd be doing like 50 reps, but with like 15 pounds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and he said to me, he goes, when I asked him about that, he goes, it's not, I don't want to gain anything at this point. I'm already where I ever want to be.
Where he wants to be. He's maintaining.
And this is for maintenance, right? And then every time that he'd finish in the gym, this was like almost every day.
Oh my God, he's finishing in the gym?
What? Oh, Dayna, young lady. I don't know who's worse, you or Alex. I just had like the same type of conversation last night on WBS. Holy crap. I'm just going to make a compilation of all you dirty, nasty people. I'm just kidding. I'm not too far off. But so what do you call it? So every day he would go over to McDonald's and he would get like 6 or 8 patties, stack them up, and he'd eat the patties just like that. And I'd be like, why would you eat McDonald's after? He goes, because all it is I'm only eating the protein, and it's inexpensive to keep up with, like I can't go out and afford steaks every day, like that wouldn't make, I couldn't do it. But
Yeah.
he would go and get like I think it was like a stack of like 8 or 10 patties. Maybe it was a lot.
Uh-huh.
That's like $10, and it
And
is
just
what it is. And
down the protein. All
down the
right.
protein.
Okay.
So, so us eating the food, the McDonald's like that,
Mm-hmm.
not such a bad thing. But anyways, I have an update for you, my dear.
You
I don't know if you
do.
knew about this.
Mm.
But you remember our pal Wally?
Wally.
I
Wally,
had
the
to,
emotional support alligator.
yeah. I'm sorry. I still like the story I'm going to tell you is sad, but
Oh no.
I am still, very smitten over the name. I laugh every
Wally is a
time
great
I
name.
say it.
My next
Um,
foster dog is I'm gonna name him Wally.
Oh Lord. Oh, please don't. So so basically, just for anybody who did not hear last week's episode, go take a listen.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you call it? There is a guy who owned an alligator, and he considered it an emotional support alligator. Now, after a little bit more deep diving into Wally,
Yeah.
Wally, he what do you
Uh,
call it? He was actually pulled out of Walt Disney World. So that when he was like 1 years old. So they didn't have him where he was just a little baby, but he was
uh-huh.
still like a little baby. But
Well,
it
see,
was
is that
apparent.
why they named him Wally? Do you know? Because Wally is a Disney
Maybe,
movie.
maybe, yeah, maybe.
Ooh,
So
okay.
they named him Wally. And the guy was like, the owner was like, this gator is not like any other gator, and apparently he dealt with them. That's why he was there.
Yeah.
I guess he literally has dealt with these all his life. And he's like, I've never dealt with a gator like this before. He's never once tried to bite myself or anyone else. It's such a good-natured alligator. So anyway, he was I believe it was in Georgia. They were on vacation. They take the gator everywhere. Remember last week we were talking that they tried bringing him to a Phillies game, couldn't get in.
Mm, mm.
But what do you call it? Apparently, the gator went missing, which is what we discussed last week, and we kind of poked fun at it. But apparently, what had happened, which I had said, I wonder if somebody was pulling a prank. Apparently, somebody was thinking that they were slick, and they swiped the gator, thinking that they're having doing a prank, or
Uh-huh.
that it's a joke. And what do you call it? Basically, these people stole the gator and then took the gator and dropped it off into some random person's yard. They like to do that to
To like
terrify them.
terrorize
Yeah,
them?
to terrorize them.
Oh
And
my God.
yeah, and basically what happened from there, they got the owner of the house apparently had contacted the DNR. I don't know what that is, but that's what they called, the DNR. Then the
Uh-huh.
DNR called the what do you call the trapper. Trapper came and got Wally, and then Wally was dropped off in a swamp with about 20 other gators that same day. And what do you call it? He dropped him off. Now, again, it's not the trapper's fault.
Of
The
course
trapper,
not. He didn't know.
no, the trapper went and did the trapper's job,
Trappers
which
be
is,
trapping, man.
yeah, that's their job. At least they didn't kill him. But what do you call it? No, the big issue here is this gator has never been out in the world. It doesn't know how to hunt for itself. It's fed. It does not know how to handle itself around other gators. It
Oh
has
my
not been in
goodness.
that type of situation. So, when you're saying that it was just dropped off into a swamp, which they described as very large, it's slim chances that this poor animal's going to make it because it was domesticated,
Oh.
which is why like sweetbriars, who I deal with a lot,
Yeah.
there are some animals that they can release back into the wild, but others that they're there forever. It's their forever home now
Right.
because they
Yeah, because
can't be
otherwise they'll
acclimated.
die in the
Right.
wild.
So the sweet gator apparently was dropped off into the wild because these assholes decided to
And so they
try to
never
play a
got him
prank.
back, huh? They're still
Well,
looking for him.
so they went to the swamp. They created some search parties. They've been out there looking. That as of this point, this is only a couple days ago, mind you. Now, when this
Yeah.
comes out, it's been another few days, but this is
Maybe
only
we'll
like
have an
4 days
update.
ago. Four
Hopefully a
days
good
ago, yeah,
update.
that they've been sitting and looking for the gator. They as of this point, they have not found him. So we'll see.
You
We'll
know
see what
what?
happens.
I hope that Wally gets himself a gator mama and
Mm.
she is like, showing him the ropes. But what happens if they do find him and all of a sudden he's like, I'm not domesticated anymore, bitch. I'll cut you, you know?
It could be. It could be. It could be like
Yeah.
that. I think it takes a little bit longer than that, but I don't know.
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
He's got his instincts. And maybe his instincts will serve him well in the wild. I don't
Maybe.
know if you'd be hugging a gator that's been in the wild after, a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well, this is it says as of Wednesday, efforts have been unsuccessful. Now, again, I think this is last Wednesday. Let me just check the date. This was on May 5th. So May
Okay.
5th this came out.
Okay.
Um, so I don't know. I don't know if
That's really sad.
anything else has happened. As far as I know, it's not a
Well,
good thing.
we'll be keeping
So
our eye on it. We'll be keeping our eye on it to see if Wally gets rescued or not. I mean, what if it's like a prison, and he needs a jailbreak, man. He needs to get back out of prison.
I know, right? I don't know, man. Listen, it just sucks because pets in general, you love your animal, and yes, it's a little bit of a different type of an animal, to love and be loving on, but it was his animal nonetheless, and he loved his animal, and to have it be taken from him like that, and in such a way,
Oh,
and it's just awful. I mean,
yeah.
some animals are assholes. I got to tell you, some animals
Well,
are assholes.
you know,
Cats are assholes. You
totally.
know,
They know all of your secrets, right? Like,
yeah.
do you ever just whisper to Jasper, dude,
Oh yeah, yeah, a
your
couple
mom's being a little
times.
bitch today, or
No, I never say that.
never that,
I
never
never
ever
ever say that. No, no,
that. I
no,
know.
I would not.
Dana's being a little bitch today, Jasper.
Oh, she's obviously on the rag. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
But you
kidding.
cannot trust all of your pets because if
What do
you
you
are
mean?
like this person and you have a parrot, that parrot will rat you out to your wife when you're cheating with the housemaid.
Wait. Hold on a second. What are you talking about?
There was a guy in Vietnam,
Okay. Pinky's
Vietnam,
up on this.
Vietnam.
I got to get the
Okay.
tea.
And he and his wife were together. They had a pet parrot,
Okay.
and eventually they got really, really busy. They had a successful furniture store. They decided to hire a maid to come in and help with like the chores and blah 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 blah.
Okay.
Um, Eventually, the wife started to get a little suspicious that maybe he was cheating. He was acting really weird around the maid for a little while.
Really?
And then she heard the parrot muttering some weird phrases.
Was it na getting jiggy with
Yeah.
it? Na, na, oh, sorry. Sorry.
I don't
I
know.
had
I
to
think
do
it was more like "Take Me, Daddy" or something like that.
it.
They don't tell me exactly what the phrases were, but this parrot was muttering these phrases that led the wife to believe that the husband was cheating. So she sets up a camera and catches her husband and the maid in the act, all because this parrot was saying these phrases and totally ratted him out.
That is insane. So they didn't say what phrases though?
Not that I saw. I mean, I could have missed it while I was going through the article, but no, they just said that he was saying phrases that, I mean, I'm sure we could draw our own conclusion as to what this parrot might have been saying. But no, they just said that he was muttering some sexual phrases, phrases that you wouldn't commonly hear around the house unless you were doing the nasty.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
But
And
wouldn't he have, and he didn't say, well, it must have hurt us getting it on or something like that?
no, because these were phrases that she herself did not use. Like there are certain
Wow.
things that, maybe you say, maybe you don't say in the bedroom. But if you hear something that's sexual in nature from a parrot
Right.
that isn't something that you have uttered yourself in the bedroom, my ears would perk up a little bit too. I'd be like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Wow. That's
Uh-huh.
insane. That's insane. Apparently, and I don't want to go into it because we have, limited time, but I just saw another thing right off where that was because I just looked up what you were talking about. But it
Yeah.
says Another one, Parrot's big mouth gets Indian men life sentences. A woman's killers were convicted 9 years after the murder. How crazy is that?
Dude, I am dying to know how many times a parrot has either gotten somebody in trouble or like convicted or like there's parrots.
Wow.
They don't give a fuck.
That's crazy. Yeah, and they don't want, first of all, you'd like
They're
to
just
say they don't know any
repeating.
better, but they know. They know.
You
They're little
think?
assholes. Oh yeah. So I had a military macaw and I loved him. What do you call it? So I had when Samantha, my oldest, was born, I had to give up, the bird. So I gave him to my mother. And
Yeah.
even though my mother didn't handle him, because he was just so big and like she would let him out or whatever, and then have to
Mm-hmm.
chase him back into the cage with a broom. But
With
he
a
was
broom.
yeah, with a broom. Like she wouldn't hit him, but she'd be like, "Okay,
Yeah.
go, go, go,"
Yeah.
because
I
he
should
would want to.
shoo him
Yeah,
into the
yeah.
cage.
But he would sit and he would talk and all the time, and he would actually say things that were going on in the house. Not that there was anybody else in the house except for my mother. But for a while, the person she was seeing, whatever. So, her name was Cindy. So he would say, Buggy would be like, "Sin, Sin," calling her, and then he would be like, "Mom, Mom," like if I
Oh
was
my
in there
God.
talking.
Yeah.
So, it was, let me tell you, man, but he was a little a-hole, He'd do things on purpose.
Oh my. I actually
And
love
laughed
that.
about it, by the
It's
way.
also the reason that I will not ever have a parrot because they will sell me out. I mutter around the house way too often to have somebody repeat me.
Motherfucking son of mother son of
Yeah.
mother. Oh, yeah, no, that's crazy. I think it's crazy. And I gotta ask, why is
Yeah.
it always the maid? Why is it always the maid?
Easy access. That's my 2 cents. Easy. It's the maid or the nanny. It's whoever's in front. It's easy access. They're
But
already
like,
there.
but I mean, it's just weird,
Well,
right?
so in this article, the maid actually initiated sex with the husband because she wanted a raise.
Well, she got a raise
She
apparently.
sure did.
She got a different kind of raise, but she got
She
a
went
raise. I
from
don't
2 to 4 inches.
Wow. Ay, 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 ay. Well, I wonder what's happening. What that poor bird probably got cooked.
Yes. Yeah. I wonder what parrot tastes like.
Oh my God. Did you
Crow. It tastes like crow.
it tastes like you eating crow. What do you call it? Did you watch the Tom Brady roast this past week?
I did watch the Tom Brady roast, and I'll tell you, I did like there were times the first half of the Tom Brady roast, I was cackling. I was
Oh,
laughing so hard.
Kevin Hart destroyed.
I could
Destroyed.
not help myself. And then as you got through more to it, stuff started getting pretty racially charged and I was like, oh my God. Like I was like so many times I was like flabbergasted by stuff.
Oh
But
yeah.
wow. Wow.
Oh yeah, and I mean, and let me tell you, for those of you who did not watch, Tom Brady was married to Giselle Bundchen.
Mm-hmm.
Giselle had told him, like, okay, you need to retire. This was a while ago. And then he said, okay, he retired, and then he went right back into it. And she's like, all right, well, that's it. She wound up sleeping with, or allegedly, I'm assuming, since they were talking about it so much, slept with this jujitsu guy.
Well, she didn't sleep with him, but there were rumors because they hung out a lot.
Well,
So
they're
there
together now.
maybe she slept with him then, but it was just like they were together. He was her instructor, just like the
Yeah,
other girl was the maid.
the maid, the maid. Well, yeah, but I mean, why? I don't see her going and cheating on the guy. You know what I mean? Like maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but they apparently when she's ass hurt about the whole thing. So there's like article upon article upon article about that she and the kids were affected by his irresponsible roast. Just so you're aware.
Well, I mean, he did put himself in a position where they just made fun of him nonstop for losing his family to his career, or now he doesn't have a career. But yeah, I mean, he set himself up for that. He signed on to have a roast. Like, that's what they are specifically there for. So if
Yeah.
she's gonna like face her anger at anyone, it should be him. He's the one that's put himself up for it.
Yeah, and look, you're in the public eye. You know we're getting torn apart left, right, and sideways from
Uh-huh.
faceless people 24/7. Doesn't make a difference. Matter of fact, what do you call it? Ben Affleck, who did not look like Ben Affleck, by the way. I don't know. Something was going on with that. I don't know if he had something done, but that's what people were thinking. Did not look like Ben Affleck. But what he did say made sense, where, you're in the public eye and people are ripping on you and blah, blah, blah. And, you just had one of the best games of your life. And then he goes and he showed me his social media and everything's like, ripping him apart. He's like, and
Totally.
this is
Yeah.
how you have to celebrate,
You cannot please people at all, especially
Right.
when you're Tom motherfucking Brady.
Yeah. And now here's the funny thing is that, not pleasing people at all. Did you know that Kim Kardashian was
Uh-huh.
booed? I I was completely and utterly in shock about that because like I was, why are they booing Kim? Again, I know she's not necessarily as nice to everybody or in general as I sometimes make her out to be because she was always sweet to me, but like
I'm sure that she is a sweet person. I also find Kim to be very problematic. I did hear the boos and I was like, oh shit, Kim's getting booed.
yeah,
However,
what you
her
talking about?
management, aka Kris Jenner, had to like call fucking Netflix and be like, edit it out fucking now. And they edited out the booze. And now if you go onto Netflix, it says that this is an edited from its live version or something like that on Netflix.
Wow.
And they took out the booze for Kim Kardashian.
See, I didn't watch it live, but I did watch it like the next day and the booze were there. So
Yeah.
they must have
It
just
was
done
like
this.
2 days later, I think that they did it
Wow.
because it ended up being a thing. Everybody was talking about how Kim K got booed. So then it ended up being a thing. How's that for power? That you're
Yeah.
like, mommy, they booed me and it hurt my feelings. And then she's like, I'm gonna call the principal. And then the principal's like, okay, we're gonna edit the video.
Right. Well, I mean, look, I mean, Tom Brady could have been the one to call. You know what I mean? Because
Anybody
she is
could
one of his
have, but
friends.
come on. Like you said, she also put herself in a position
She did.
where she set herself up for booze. Let's be honest, and I'm not saying that this is why she was booed, but
Hmm.
she has made her way around some sporting events with some sporty people.
Oh.
There's tapes of it. That's how she got famous, right? Like
Oh, that's from a long, long time
a
ago.
very long time ago. Absolutely. But she has also dated some sports people since then.
Okay.
Um, on top of that, she has found herself entangled in a feud with the Swifties. So I wonder how many of those people were Swifties booing her.
Wait,
Um,
I didn't know she was in a feud with Swifties? I
she's in a
didn't know
feud
that.
with Tay Tay.
Really?
Oh my God, she did her dirty. Kim K
Okay.
lied about a phone call. Remember when Kanye West released that song talking about fucking Taylor Swift or something like that? And he said that Taylor said it was fine. But
Okay.
so, anyways, they did her dirty. So, anyways, it's been a huge feud between Taylor Swift and Kim Kardashian. There's like it's a whole thing. You're gonna have to Google it because we don't have time on the show right now to go
Right,
through
right,
it
right,
all.
right.
Um, but so there's lots of reasons. Also, I don't know. I don't necessarily love. I am feeling for Kim K because she has to feel so much pressure to be like the thinnest, most beautiful, all of the things. And it's not necessarily a great role model, in my opinion, for regular women. And so I don't know. I just And then whenever you're booed, you call Netflix and have them edit it out. Like, that's just not real life for a lot of people. You were booed. Fucking own it.
I can appreciate that. I'm gonna take it to a different place for a second.
Okay.
The place was jam-packed. Most of the place were it was filled with other people in the industry. Am
Totally.
I
Sports
correct?
people. It was all sports people
All people in the industry.
and
The fact of
comedians.
the matter is the people that were in there were all in the industry, and it is unprofessional to have done that. It is unprofessional and wrong to have done that, regardless of your thoughts on her.
I
It's
disagree.
wrong
I
to
think that
do it.
you're allowed to make your feelings known about somebody. If they're not great, I think that it's okay to be like, you know what? I don't like you.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get
Yeah.
it. But I just not in a professional situation like that.
Well,
You know
you
what
know
I'm
what she
saying?
did say though that I loved? It was hilarious. I mean, she did a good job. She did
You
a
did a great
toast.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she said something along the lines of like, I know everybody thinks that we dated and, there was a lot of speculation about that. And you know what? I'd never tell. I'd just release the tape.
Right.
It was very, very funny. It was
She
very
was
funny.
I don't know who wrote for her, but she did a good job, and you could
Yeah.
tell she was nervous. The fact of the matter is a lot of the roast, a lot of it was hilarious, but there were a bunch of people who was like, all right, who the hell are these people? You know what I
Dude,
mean? Like,
Gronkowski made me so uncomfortable whenever he slammed that shot and threw it on the ground. I was like, oh my
yeah.
God, somebody get this frat boy out of here.
So I swear to God, this when you're here in New York, you're going to meet him because we're going to have to do a shoot with him, and we're also going to do a shoot with Florin. Those are my two regular photographers, right?
Uh-huh.
But Jr. Gronkowski reminded me when he did his whole thing, reminded me of Jr. Like
Oh,
when
geez.
and like that's how I was looking at us, and Danielle was like, "Is that Jr. talking or is that Gronkowski?" I'm like, are you? Holy crap! It could have been his son.
That is
And
so
so
funny.
I was in awe about that. You don't know him, so know none of you people probably know him,
Yeah.
when you do, I'm gonna be like, okay, watch the
That's,
clip. Now
yeah.
watch this.
Well, speaking of releasing the tape,
Yes.
did you see, and I know that you did because you sent it to me actually, the people in the park in New York that
Yes.
was doing the nasty under a blanket?
Okay. You know who told me about that? You're gonna love this. You know who
Who?
told me about that?
Huh?
Haley.
Oh,
That's how I found out about it. Yeah. Yeah.
Haley. Oh, poor girl.
She's
Poor
like, she
girl.
goes, Dad, did you see what was going on in the city today? I'm like, what are you talking about? No, I've been busy all day. Wait. She's like, no, Dad, did you see what happened in the city in the park today? I'm going, no, I didn't. Give me your phone. I'm like, no, I'm in the middle of something right now. I was doing social media. I was like,
Yeah.
no, leave me alone. She goes, Dad, you're gonna want to know about this. I was like, fine, here, what? She goes, you're gonna want to know this Dirty Little Secrets Club.
I love you, Haley. I love you so much.
And she went to and I go, oh wow, whoa, oh. So yeah,
Dude.
yeah. So yeah, and for those of you who don't know, in New York City, which is my backyard, a couple went viral because they were getting it on under the blankets in a park, in a very big park where there's children running around the whole nine yards. It was Battery Park. It's one of the big ones in Manhattan.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, at that time of day where they did it, like that place is jam packed, jam packed. So, and here's the thing: people sat and filmed it, but nobody called the cops. No,
Or
everybody
like
was like,
poked them with
oh,
a stick or
oh,
anything.
so
Like,
offended.
I feel like I'd be like poking them with a stick or throwing rocks at them or something and being like, we
Right.
can see you.
Yeah. Like, look, let's be honest here. Most people, if they've got some kind of or a decent sex life at least, most people have done it in public at least once. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? The whole key, though, is to not be an exhibitionist about it, to kind of find a little place that's off the beaten path and perhaps do it there where nobody else is around. Now, again, I understand they're under a blanket, but when you can blatantly see what's going on
Yeah.
and there are kids running around, that's the wrong place to do it. It's the wrong thing to do.
That's a big no-no. That's a big
Read the
no-no.
signs,
Mm-hmm.
folks.
Mm-hmm.
No nakedness.
No, no fucking blanket porn, okay?
Oh my
No blanket
God.
porn.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? And they were all filming. Everybody's filming it. They're filming, but like I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't understand why nobody did anything about it. Like, definitely, I mean, throwing rocks at them could have even been fun. You could have tried to hit them right in the booty hole, you know? Like,
I know, right? Like, come on
yeah,
now.
10 points, 10 points.
10 points for a booty hole hit.
Yeah.
That's just disgusting. What do you call it here?
I have to wonder though, like, did it say if they were like on drugs or anything, or does nobody know because nobody did anything about it, so we don't even know who these people are?
Honestly, I mean, nobody, as far as I know, nobody knows
Who they were.
who they were.
I
So
have to imagine that if that is something that you are doing, that you are not of like complete competent mind.
you're not of sound mind.
Like, were you on drugs? Were you day drinking? Was it ecstasy? Like,
Right.
because if you weren't on drugs, that's even a bigger problem to me.
I don't know. Listen, online, what do you call it? It's been viewed at the point of the article that came out. It was
Uh,
viewed more than 51 million times. You know,
Holy shit.
people had a lot to say, but ain't nobody did nothing about it. Like call the cops if that's the case. Now people are taking because they came up for air a few times. So
Uh-huh.
now people are actually taking screen captures of their face and trying to figure out who they were. You
Oh
know,
my
I think
God.
that's disgusting. Like,
I have
if
not seen the video. Um,
yeah,
but these people, if they get figured out, and they will, because if that many people are watching it,
yeah,
there are internet sleuths that will find you for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing that bothers, look, if it was like a bunch of adults there, that's not good. But again, like if there
Children.
were there's children around, that's what bothered me.
That's
You know
a
what I mean?
big problem.
Yeah, yeah, and you can get in a lot of trouble for that because what happens then is, you're getting locked up.
Yeah.
Like you're getting
Well,
locked
you
up.
should not be having sex in a park where there are children. End of story. Like that is just that's a no. That's a
If you
no.
go into the park, Dana, follow the fucking rules. That's what it is. Parks have signs and rules for reasons. If you don't want to follow those rules, you know what? Fuck around, find out. That
Mm-hmm.
being said, did you hear about the kid that wound up dying at Yellowstone, the hot springs?
Oh, I
No,
did.
it's a sad story.
It is a sad story.
It's a sad story, but what do you call it? In Yellowstone, this is Yellowstone National Park.
Mm-hmm.
There's the falls and no, I'm sorry, the springs. It's the hot springs,
The
and the
hot
hot
springs, yeah.
springs there, they can go up to like 400 degrees. Okay,
Holy shit.
it gets really, really, really hot. So
Uh-huh.
the fact of the matter is that it says specifically there, on signs, do not get too close, do not do that, do not do this, be very, very careful, yada yada yada. And why? Why? So you don't die and you don't get hurt.
It's usually
Well,
why there are warning signs.
right. So as of like I guess now right now, it's more or less over 20 people have already been killed in the past by what do you call it, the Yellowstone's geothermal pools, the geysers, mud pots, steam vents, and hot springs.
Oh my God.
Okay, so 20 people seems like a lot, but you got to remember up to like 4 million people visit a year. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm
It
saying?
still feels like a lot though. I'm still like, oh, I don't want to go there now because I'm afraid of like my kids slipping and falling into a hot spring. I'll be on high alert 100% of the time.
Well, but you should be. But this
Yeah.
guy was 23. This is a 23-year-old kid. Him and his sister were deciding that they wanted to do what they wanted to go hot pot. I guess they were trying to figure out a place to go bathe or
Uh-huh.
something.
Yeah.
So they climbed up, I think they climbed up some kind of a hill.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call it? They left the boardwalk. and they went up about several hundred feet up a hill. And it was the kid and his sister. They're both in their 20s, I guess. And he went to reach in, I guess, to touch the water, and he fell in. And what do you call it?
Oh
Over
my
the course of
God.
an hour, he boiled to death. Boiling acidic waters. And everywhere it says very dangerous. It says don't go near it. But what did he do? He went and he
Oh.
goes to reach in, and then he falls in. Now, I'm going to tell you one of my dirty little secrets, not dirty, but one of my secrets is that I'm not I'm not afraid of heights,
Uh,
but I am over I guess protective
uh,
of my kids when
yeah.
they were, especially when they were little.
Yeah.
And and Danielle, and if we're high up somewhere, or if there's like a gate here and you can lean over the
Yes.
gate,
Mm, mm-mm,
any of
mm-mm,
that freaks
mm-mm.
me the hell out. I'm
Me
like,
too.
when the kids were younger and Danielle was holding them, even though she had them good, I'm like, you
Just
need to
step
move
the
away from
fuck
the
back.
railing, move away from the railing. She
Yeah.
knows. She laughs
Yeah.
about it. You can
Yeah.
ask her about it. She'll laugh. But the fact of the matter is like, no, it bothers me, and there's a reason for it. So the kids act stupid sometimes, and they're like, "Ha, I'm gonna go off the edge,"
Uh,
trying to like fuck with me.
no,
And I'm
no, no,
like,
no, no, no,
but
no,
then you got
no.
stupid shit like this, and it's like, well, this is why. You know what I mean? Eric Clapton's kid fell out of a window. How many stories? Which is why in the city now they require bars on windows. There's a
Mm-hmm.
reason, because some jackass did something stupid, or left the kid out, or did this, or wasn't paying attention. There's a reason for all this shit. But
Yeah.
anyway, so they this is one thing that I felt was, why the fuck would you have done this? The sister filmed the whole fucking thing.
Wait, but was she filming beforehand and then it happened?
Who fucking cares? Drop the fucking phone. Try to get the guy out. Do something,
Well,
right?
so
Scream for
I'm
help.
scream for help, call 911, do something. Yes, I agree with that. However, there was a similar case that happened in
Mhm.
Italy maybe a year or two ago. And this reminds me very much of that. There was a little boy who got too close to a hot spring and fell in, and the mom jumped in after him. And so him and his mom both died because she had jumped in after him. So I don't think that she should have went in after him. That was
No,
400 degrees of
no.
acidic water. Um, I don't know how long she filmed that. I don't love that. But if she was filming beforehand and it just happened to catch it, I understand that. I don't know how long she filmed afterwards. I also, I mean, I don't know what he was thinking, if they missed the signs, like what the circumstances were that led up to him slipping and falling, because I'm sure it's wet around there too. It's probably a slippery surface as well.
That's what
And
she
then he
said.
sticks his
Sorry.
finger in and it like I don't
Do you
know,
hear
bursts.
yourself right
And
now?
yeah,
Slippery
I
surface,
do.
stuck her finger in, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
You're getting really, really dirty on the club right now. I just want to let you be
To
aware
get dirty.
how dirty you are. I was like, that's what she said. And you're like, well, yeah. And then he sticks the finger in. I'm like, what the hell, Day?
He's just finger in a hot spring.
All right. Anyway, continue. I'm
But
sorry. I had to go there.
it's really sad though that happened. And he's 23 years old. I mean, he didn't even have a chance for that frontal lobe to fully develop, you know?
No, it it was the footage they have now. It was too bad
Oh my
that they
gosh.
refused to release or describe the contents of the clip.
Well, because
Okay,
they said that he dissolved.
he
They
dissolved.
used the word
Yeah.
dissolved.
Uh-huh.
Could you
Mm-hmm.
imagine watching a human being dissolve in a hot? I
Uh,
mean, holy fuck. That is
well,
definitely going to be too graphic of a video.
for up to 400 degrees can be hot enough to dissolve flesh.
Whew.
And it was confirmed by the ranger that was there that a significant amount of dissolving happened when the body was analyzed. And
Get him out
they
of
found
there.
him. Yeah, they found, I don't even know how they got him out of there. Like, I don't even know how they got him out, you know? I don't know. I don't know.
Also, Is this a great idea to release the information that this particular hot spring will dissolve a body? Because that feels like you're giving people
Yeah.
ideas. Feels like you're giving
Yeah.
people ideas.
Well, they were still okay. Fair enough, and I'm glad you actually said that because prior to this happening, a couple years ago, there was a guy from California,
Uh,
nonetheless, who also died. And he entered into the hot springs pool at that at the Geyser Basin, which is at Yellowstone as well.
uh-huh.
He wasn't found until like a few days later when a shoe and part of a foot were found floating in the water. It was like a
Holy
140
shit.
degree hot spring.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. And that was yes, you can't drop people off because they're going to find you.
yeah.
They found
Wow.
it with DNA. So
Good
it was
times.
DNA
Oh,
testing. They found out who it was. It was a 70-year-old guy. And they found it out because it eventually comes up for air. So yeah, guys, like
what a way
please,
to go.
please
What a
be
way to go.
careful when you're out there doing things. Don't
Pay
act
attention to
foolish.
warning signs.
Yeah, like for
They're there
real,
for a
man.
reason.
I don't understand people why they do stupid things,
Well, same
right?
at the fucking Grand Canyon. There's warning signs everywhere. Don't go out on these cliffs. But guess what my husband did whenever we were at the Grand Canyon?
Seriously?
My God, he's so dumb sometimes.
That's
Yes.
not good. That's not
No,
good.
I was very mad at him because we were with our teenagers at the time. And I was like, what an example you're setting. Like, I was
No!
pissed. I
What
was
the fizz?
so mad.
What the freaking hell, man? No, you can't
Yes.
do things like
No,
that.
you cannot.
You
You
know,
cannot.
like I don't know. It drives me crazy that my son is driving a motorcycle here and there. You know what I mean? Like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
So, anyways, well, listen, guys, that's about all the time we have for the Dirty Little Secrets Club this week. We appreciate you. We thank you so much for tuning in every single week. We've been ranking in the States and in other places. Thank you so much for that. You guys are awesome. We appreciate you. We love you. Hey, Day, you want to just let everybody know the one rule of the Dirty Little Secrets Club?
Yes, everybody. The first rule of the Dirty Little Secrets Club is to tell everyone about the Dirty Little Secrets Club.
Again, we appreciate you. We love you. We'll see you again, God willing, next week.
Follow me promised land. You think we want something from you? You got another thing coming.